Hello and welcome from Boquete. This is where I'm staying. Vista Boquete Hostel. They have individual apartments to rent as well, and that's what I did. Right now it's about 10 o'clock in the morning, and I've just spent the last almost 3 hours editing video too. So that's kind of how my day, I've decided I'm going to start running these days here because it is usually a bit brighter in the morning, even in the mountains here. This is way up in the mountains. Well, I guess way up is relative, but this is up in the mountains, and I've noticed that the good weather, as it relates to good compared to what I'm trying to shoot, the good weather comes in the afternoon. And so I wake up a little early, I get some video editing done, and then here mid-morning head out. So I've got a lunch packed, I got a hot dog, and was so surprised to actually find a veggie hot dog here. So I'm gonna do a hot dog with mustard, ketchup, and mayo. And then I just bought hot dog buns for my bread. So I then have another bun, and it's just gonna have peanut butter and jelly or some kind of jam. Anyway, this thing right here is actually a church, and it's right behind where I'm staying. So I came from just up the hill there, and you just at the top of this hill where you see the road ending, immediately turn to the left, and that's where I'm staying. And this is a church that belongs to the Seventh-day Adventist denomination. I was just actually kind of surprised to see it here. I knew there was one down further in town, but for some reason it never dawned on me that this would be this close to my to where I was staying. And it really makes me wish I had gotten here a day earlier, because I could have joined them for worship. But anyway, right now it's about finding a bus to get up to the waterfalls and take a hike. Alright, so here I am at the Lost Waterfalls. It took about, I don't know, 20 minutes, 30 minutes. Let's see, it's 11:08. We left at roughly 10:30, so maybe almost 40 minutes actually to get up here. Plenty of stops along the way, lots of agriculture along the way. I did not expect to see that. That was kind of cool. Lots of greenhouses, lots of regular open fields. It's obviously very hilly, so they're almost terracing, not really. For some reason I expected there to be more people, although it is Sunday, and so this might not be something that most people in this area do on a Sunday, but certainly something I'm thrilled to do on a Sunday. So, and if there's less people, might just make my shots a little bit more easily accomplished. So, oh, we can hear some dogs. Oh, got some awesome living quarters here. This is the kind of thing that really floats my boat when it comes to different areas, different countries, that kind of a thing. As I was saying, places like this home, it's just awesome. I love it to see, to see how people live. And it just, I don't know why, it's just something that helps satisfy my curiosity, I guess. And check out this bridge. Oh my goodness. Wow. If this doesn't feel sketch, I tell you what. Ooh, that water's getting loud though. Here we are downriver. And let's take a look upriver. Our hours are 8 a.m. to 5 p.m. You will need about 2 hours to see all 3 waterfalls and return here. Therefore, you must arrive by 3 p.m. No problemo. And then, of course, another welcome sign. So here we go. From looking at the map, this is an out and back, so not a loop. And of course, I will need more time. But it's good to know as far as arriving out there by 3 p.m. Well, okay, it says it takes 2 hours to see all 3 waterfalls, so that is to arrive here at the sign by 3 p.m. That means I should leave the last waterfall no later than 4 p.m. And if I can do that, then I should be able to have an hour to get back here, and I'm out in due time. So, gonna go up this scramble here. It is 11 o'clock and I am just loving it. This is so cool. Take a look how these trees kind of attach to the rocks there. They don't want us going that way. I think I mentioned before, I brought a lunch. Already kind of starting to feel a little bit hungry. I also only brought 1 bottle of water, about a half a liter. But I also did bring my water filter. So when I go hiking and camping and such, I like to lighten my load and I just get water along the way and just go with the water that comes from the river. So I plan to spend all day here. Leave by 5, of course. That's the prescribed time where they close. And then head back to the room. Go to the grocery store, get a little extra food if I need it. But otherwise, it's all about just spending the whole day here, shooting the waterfalls and having a grand old time. And here we look like we're at another entry, maybe a more formal, more obvious entry with the gate and all that stuff. Ready to go. Oh, here we go. The price is $10 per person. We only accept cash or Yappy. Only visitors to the cabin and hikers beyond the gate. Okay. I am a hiker. Guess there's a cabin up here. That'd be pretty cool. It has been too long since I've done a climb like this. All right, the first waterfall shouldn't be too far away. I think they said the first waterfall was within, I don't know, 20 minutes or so. And then, of course, it takes an hour, 45 minutes to an hour to get to that last one. So they're all pretty close together. And shouldn't be too much longer before I see my first one. This first shot I just thought was so cool because I've got these orange flowers amidst all the greenery and it's just starting to bud out. And I like that one down yonder because, well, the framing. Let me get this on video through the Sony now. And with that framing, and my biggest thing now, of course, is the wind. I got to deal with the wind and trying to get the right balance. Right now I'm at 400 ISO, f5.6, which is as wide open as it's going to go, at 60th of a second, but then I also have that polarizer on there. And with that polarizer, I'm taking out 2 stops of light. So I might have to sacrifice a little bit and go on up to maybe 800 ISO, maybe 626, whatever it is. Hola.
Hola.
No problem.
What is?
The plant, the flower. I have
Yes.
no idea.
Huh? Can I take?
Oh, please, take a picture. Yeah, it was just really beautiful. I liked how
Yes.
the little
So I think it's
just
like a
comes
fruit
out.
or something.
Yeah. So anyway, I just had a picture. Get a photo.
Bye.
Have a good day.
You too.
So yeah, that's just gorgeous. And the wind has died down, so I better see about getting a shot. 60th of a second may just work here. I'm going to go ahead and bump it up to 640 ISO so I can grab a 100th of a second shutter speed. And still some movement. Oh, I'm getting impatient. Yeah, that'll have to do. Looks like I finally came to the little guard station where I pay the money.
sería go directly the second,
Okay.
go up there, and go down. It's one way, okay? We'll go down, turn to the left first, and come back
Okay.
here. See?
Gracias.
Okay, thank you.
It's a very nice and manicured place, at least here to begin with. Some hydrangeas, hibiscus. They also have a $100 fine if you mess with the plants at all, so we're not going to do that, of course. Wasn't going to do that anyway. Look at that. That's nice. Love those. It looks like we've got an Airbnb here as well. That's kind of cool for this cabin. How nice would that be to stay here? Oh, I love this arrow here. We are to go that way. So the first waterfall is that way. 2 and 3 are going to be this way. The thing I'm curious about is why the recommendation to visit 2 and 3 first and 1 on your way out. I'm tempted to just go to number 1 first though, because if everyone else is going to number 2 and number 3 first, I want to go opposite them. So let's I think I'm going to do that. Number 1 first. I guess I'll need to put the camera away in order to be able to get down here. Take a look at this. We've got the rope, and it helps you navigate this pathway on the way down. I guess it really wasn't that bad, but fun nonetheless. And now I get to navigate the rest of this. I've got someone coming up, so I think I'll wait here for her. The rope is still here if I want it, but I've got this handrail. Don't think I really need it. Definitely it's wet and slippery, and I've been trying to step very thoughtfully and carefully. My shoes are kind of new. Bought them a couple of weeks ago at Sportsman's Warehouse. They were having a clearance sale, and then on top of that, it was buy one, get one free. These were not my first choice. They did have another style that I would have preferred, but they were of course out of stock in my size. So I went with these, knowing they would still get the job done. These handrails kind of loose. And see, this is where it gets tricky. My footing here, I guess if I step here and maybe here, okay, that's not too slippery, but certainly prime area for twisting an ankle if you lose your balance. Almost there. And the bright sunny weather is still upon us, coming and going. This is gorgeous with all these flowers. Love these things. Ah, yeah. From way up there, all the way down, and then it flows on down. And it looks like they don't want us getting down there in the river itself. Falls 2 and 3, it was mentioned that you can swim at the base of the falls. This one seems like a no-go. And given the weather, i.e. the bright sunshine, I'm thinking of skipping it for now. And if I have time after I'm done with 2 and 3, maybe I'll come back and get it. But right now, this is not going to work out well. And I just don't know when a cloud, I'm trying to look and see when a cloud is going to come and give us proper softening of the light. But I don't need to wait for that either, because I have a feeling if history is my guide, once the clouds settle in after noon, it's 12:10 right now. Once the clouds settle in, they pretty much settle in for good. And I might need another hour before they settle in for good. And I don't have to be out of here till 4. So, and if this is my last one, that's 20 minutes away. So I even have until about 4:30 easy to get myself out of here. I think I'll just go ahead and go on up to 2 and 3. And if the weather cooperates on this one, then so be it. But I have a greater sense of confidence in 2 and 3 just because of the situation of the river. The falls themselves should be in shade. And so if I can't get the entire falls, I can at least get some detail because I'm going to be able to be down, possibly even in the water. And I'm really looking forward to getting my feet wet. That'll be awesome. But I can at least get some detail with either the falls crashing on the rocks, zoomed in a little bit. Maybe it's going to be about some of the flow just after the waterfall. So there's going to be lots of options that I have to think about, and I just don't think I'll be wrestling with the light if I go there first. So let's get on up to fall number 2 and see what is found there. I'm not quite there yet to fall number 2, but I can hear it. And I also wanted to show you some of this trail. This is not for the faint of heart. It can be kind of easygoing, and then you come across a spot like this. It is 12:30 and I finally have my first sighting of water. I still have some very bright sunlight, so I'm not too interested in shooting nothing out there. I don't think there'll be much that'll come out the way I want it anyway. I'm also realizing that I forgot to start my GPS watch, so I'm going to need to start that here soon. I'd like to do that to tag my images. And so I'll get that done just before I take my next image. But also the fall number 2 should be fairly close. I'm gonna have my lunch there too, getting hungry. Being that it's 12:30 and I ate kind of early this morning, before 7 o'clock, so I'm kind of hungry. I keep looking around too. Is there details here? There's this or that I can shoot. That's the photographer's eye working all the time, I guess. Ooh, I think I see actually the fall just through the foliage, so we're almost there. Almost doesn't look like a trail, does it? I need to find a place to sit now so I can enjoy my lunch and wait for some cloud cover. I will have the camera at the ready. It looks like it's already coming, at least for a short period. I don't expect it to stick around just yet, but some cloud cover has come, so maybe I'll shoot first and then I'll get some food. Oh, this looks nice. And with the nice foreground elements here, there's lots of options for compositions, so long as that light doesn't make me a chrome dome as it is right now. I need it a little bit softer. All right, eating, then shooting will be the name of the game. The clouds are starting to come in and out, and that's really nice, but now I've got 2 people here. The challenge of people, of course, is to wait until they're out, but I may not be able to wait until they're out. So the next thing I can do is to photograph as long as they're in different positions. Then it's super easy to blend it out in Photoshop. I don't have to do any magic, don't have to do anything tricky. I just get it done super quick, as long as they're in not the same position when I take at least 2 different frames. So whatever, this is the life of a photographer. You get to be patient or you get to move on. There's not much else we can do, because I'm not gonna go out there and be like, hey, get out of my way. That's just not right. Okay, second waterfall. Got a couple of shots, but I just didn't really get the cloud cover like I've been hoping for. I was able to eat my lunch My goodness, this trail. Anyway, I was able to eat my lunch and have a nice relaxing time. And my goodness, this is very steep. Take a look at this. We got someone coming down. I've made it to the top of Waterfall 2. It's right over there. And I wouldn't mind getting out there a little closer. But again, if the light were better. And this begs the question of, or at least the discussion of, good light versus bad light. I only call it usually appropriate light versus inappropriate light. For this subject and what I'm going for, this light is inappropriate. I'm wanting nice soft light, rich greens. I want the ability to use my polarizer to get rid of the reflections on the surface of the water. And mostly, I don't want the huge difference in contrast between the highlights on the water and the depths of the shadows, because when you do that, it just is very hard to make it look like a natural photograph when it's so far gone. Of course, I can do some techniques like luminosity masking, but in order to do that, I'm a little bit of a snob in that sense, I suppose. I haven't done it that much, I've plenty of times, but it's the kind of thing where I only do it when I absolutely have to, and I'm starting to think I might absolutely have to do it. Kind of like a little over a year ago when I was at, what was it called? A gorge in Lebanon. Anyway, I'll put the name there for you and show you a picture of that place. I mean, the range of stops between inside the gorge and the outside through the hole that you're seeing was at least 12 stops difference. I mean, that sucker was very dark inside and very difficult to shoot. But I decided, hey, this is the only thing I can do. I will do what I can to fix it in post. And so this was the best image I got out of it. And I had zero other opportunity because there was no chance that sun was going to get softer. I might be dealing with the same thing here. All right, so I'm going to go on up this way and going to find wherever it is that Cascada 3 or Waterfall 3 is visible. This is gorgeous. It's beautiful. But and I love the trees hanging over and all that. I just want softer light. I still have some time. I've got at least, what time is it now? It's almost 2 o'clock, so I've got at least a couple of hours before I need to start heading back. And I haven't done much shooting at these places. So Waterfall 1, I didn't get any shots. Waterfall 2, I got a couple shots that I'm pretty sure I'm not happy with. And here we are at Waterfall 3. Gonna try and make the best of it and make something work. Even a zoomed in shot right here would be amazing. See, about like this, somewhere in there. I love that kind of shot too, where you have the layering that happens and just all sorts of awesome stuff. But again, this lighting, and you're probably tired of hearing me say that, and I'm tired of saying it, but I don't have many other options at this point, so I might have to just suck it up and deal with it and quit complaining about it. But this is also the kind of thing that really makes me super critical in what I'm shooting and how I'm shooting it, because it just means more work in Photoshop, which is stuff I don't really like to do. This is heaven on earth for me. Sitting there at the computer, not so much, but if I have to do it in order to give you a good photograph of something that looks good that I experienced, then again, of course, I'll do what I have to do. All right, continuing down this trail. It has been a bugger of a trail. Let me show you this picture too that I got of just the absolute climb. It might be hard to tell exactly how steep this is, but you can see the rope there. And this is just one of many where you have to have the rope, and you have to, I guess you don't have to have the rope, but my goodness, it makes it a lot easier to accomplish. And even this trail is gorgeous. Look at this. Absolutely wonderful. Love it, love it, love it. And I think, as I was thinking more about this notion of I'm shooting less, I don't feel the need to shoot so much because I don't feel the need to have those stills to tell a story. This video is telling the story. But there's some precedence for this. There's some influence, if we want to use a modern day term. Several years ago when I was studying for my master's in photography from Savannah College of Art and Design, I came across a photographer. One of the professors introduced the photographer Thomas Joshua Cooper. Now this has been 14, 15-ish years since I finished that program, almost 14-ish years. So between 14 and 15 years since I did this study. And I've looked him up a time or two since then and have even bought a book of his. But at the time he was a teacher at University in Glasgow, Scotland. He would pack up his 8x10, he would go to the ends of the earth, wherever that was. He would set up, would not even use a light meter. He would just know what his exposure needed to be. Of course, he's on film, so he's got incredible latitude, but still. He would take one frame, he would pack it up, he'd go home. All that expense, all that everything for one frame. And I looked at that as I was studying, I was like, that is insane. I may have even at the time called it stupid. As I look at it now though, I have a lot of respect for something like that. Because that is insane, but it's an insane in a good side kind of way. And then there's also Michael Kenna. He shoots a lot more when he's on site, but he's still very much, at least the nature of the images that he shares, very much just the ultimate best of the best. And so I've been inspired to go along those routes. Shoot less, share only the best of the best, only put those items out there, and tell the story in a different way. So that's what we're doing here with these videos. And the light has been kind of going in and out, getting a little softer, getting a little harsher. So I'm going to try and find some photographs. All this is gorgeous. I might just have to get some details of the greenery, and that'd be okay. Not a problem with that. So anyway, a little bit about the inspiration, a little bit about the ideas of thoughts behind shooting. Hopefully you found that helpful. And hopefully you find this type of video helpful, because it is meant to inspire you to get out here, not specifically here in Panama, but wherever your neck of the woods are, wherever you're inspired to go and shoot and do some nature work. I hope you find this inspiring, that you too can get out there and make some really cool photographs of God's green earth and blue earth and brown earth. There's lots of different colors going on, obviously, but yeah, get out there and do that. It's important because it helps shape who you are, and it helps others understand you too. That's the thing I really appreciate, is it helps shape who I am. And if I'm able to be a better person because of it, and I didn't get a single good image, that's okay. The expense, the effort, both physical and mental, is all worth it, because it helps shape who I am and hopefully makes me a better person because of it. But let's go find a picture already. Onward and upward. Yay, finally a good report at Waterfall 3. I was able to get several pictures, and for the most part the sun was mostly tamed, but as we can see here, and I'm going to zoom in a little bit too, I did get some with the foreground water here, and I got some, mostly I was standing up there, so I literally got on top of that rock and over there shooting on up that way. I got some other items where I was standing basically right next to this rock, and I got the whole thing. It was a little bit of a challenge because there were some people who were wanting to swim and they're getting in and out up over here, but when they were in the water they were not visible, so that was kind of cool. Long with the short of it, oh, it was glorious. I'm tempted to stay here longer. I think I am going to get up where it's closer and see if I can get more wide angle. ideas up there, but this fall is the one that has more of that cascade after the fact. And I just love it when that happens. You have the main fall itself, but then you also have the continued tumble. And then as we go on down the way, there was a spot that I'm going to try and shoot at as well. Now that the sun is a little bit more tame and it's holding out really good. So we'll look at these, but I'm going to still explore a little more. It's been really good. From here on out, it's probably going to be just awesome. It is almost 3 o'clock, so I've got 2 hours before I have to be completely out of here. And I still have I'm in a good spot. I think things are going good. So it's just been really wonderful to get this shoot done and to see some really good images come through. I'm really, really happy. Plus, I got to play in the water a little bit, walking through, going through. I always love that stuff too. All right, let's take a look at some of these shots, but I'll probably come back with some more even. Good stuff here. The last shot I got required climbing a little bit of I guess I can call it a hillside. And as I'm stepping down, just the mud, it's so slippery. But hey, made it, got a good shot or two. But it's time to close out for today. I am still effectively at the third waterfall, and I have all the way to go back, but I do plan to shoot along the way back as the sun cooperates, basically. And boy, I feel really fulfilled. I got what I came here for, at least a little bit of it. I would so love to have gotten more, but that's okay. I got some really good shots. I had a fantastic experience and am just thrilled to be able to have been here. What a blessing. Absolutely a blessing. Thanks so much for watching and for tagging along with this. Sometimes it seems like it took forever to get started, but maybe frustrating. I don't know what it is. It really wasn't that frustrating. It was just an experience. And I invite you to share it with your friends and stay tuned for the coming up episodes of the adventures here in Panama, where we continue to explore what Panama has to offer. Just a bit of a postscript here, so to speak. On my way out, I'm getting some amazing shots because most of the people have left, so it's easy to get without people. And the cloud cover finally has settled in, and it's amazing. My problem is it's about 4:15 right now, and that was just the second waterfall. So I'm not in trouble as far as time is concerned, so long as I keep moving. But I don't think I'm gonna go back to number 1 because I think that'll just take me too long. And from the memory of it, it was only a straight on. I couldn't get down and around it and all that stuff. So as it relates to, does it excite me? Not really. So there's a little place here where I think I can shoot upstream and still get some of number 2, Cascade 2, Waterfall 2. But it's been glorious this last hour or so where the sun has just finally been held back by those clouds. Thanks again so much for watching. I'll see you next time, and until then, God bless and happy shooting.